Hi everyone, it's Holly Astral, and today on Ask a Tattoo Artist I'm going to be answering all your questions about prices of tattoos. How do we come up with the prices, like what do the different prices mean? It started off as I was going to do a bunch of smaller videos, and then it ended up I thought they're all kind of the same thing, so I'm going to go through and answer all the questions all in one video for you. So the first part is, what is minimum charge? Most shops you go to will have a minimum charge. The minimum charge varies from shop to shop. Sometimes it might be £20. I've worked in shops where it's £50. There's shops where it's £100, like it's just, you know, how long is a piece of string? And what minimum charge means is that is the cheapest you can get a tattoo. So to go in there and to get an artist to unwrap a needle, get out the ink, set up their machine, set up their station, and to actually tattoo you will cost minimum charge. Now that could be a dot, like it is just literally the minimum charge, the smallest amount for the smallest tattoo they will do. Now what the smallest tattoo they will do is again completely dependent on the shop. You would have to ask them. For me personally, if I'm doing something minimum charge, that would be something like a very small initial, a small symbol, like a little dot work, something very, very small and simple. Now, why is there a minimum charge? The reason we do minimum charge is because every time we do a tattoo, it costs us money. Needles, ink, sterilising the machine, sterilising the equipment, all the stuff like cling film and Vaseline, setting the station up, and our time. Like the part that you're there for is in the case of a tiny tattoo, it would be the 10 minutes that you're actually putting the needle onto the skin and doing the tattoo, but there could be 20 minutes before setting up, 20 minutes afterwards, packing everything down and sterilising all the equipment. So that's what minimum charge is going towards covering. Tattoos kind of get cheaper as they get bigger almost, like the minimum charge is expensive considering it's such a tiny thing. But if you spend a bit more, you kind of get a lot more tattoo. Because tattoo equipment is actually quite expensive. That's probably another thing that doesn't really get thought of, but like needles can be 50p each. If you're buying expensive cartridge stuff like that, they can be £2.50 each. Colours, you know, the little bottles of colour that you're seeing all lined up on a tattoo artist shelf, they're between, I don't know, £10, £15 each. All of this costs a bunch of money, so that is why we have the minimum charge. It's just to cover our costs. And I guess that runs into the question, like, why would the minimum charge or the charge per tattoo be one price at one shop and another price at another shop? Like every now and again when you're pricing a tattoo, the person will say to you, oh well, I can get that done for £20 at another shop down the road. Like if you know someone that can do it for cheaper and you can't see the difference in quality, then you might as well save yourself the money. The reason why you get more expensive tattoo shops and less expensive tattoo shops, there's a various, like, myriad of reasons. It might be because one shop is more established, the artist could have more experience, in which case they would charge more, because you're not just charging them for the half an hour, let's say, that they're tattooing you for. You're kind of paying them for the years of expertise that they have and all the tattoos they've done in the past that has got them to the point where they know enough that they can know that they're going to do yours flawlessly, if that makes sense. So that's what you're paying for when you're getting a more expensive tattoo. I think everybody's seen that meme that goes around of like the tiger tattoo. So it's like a $30 tattoo, a $300 tattoo, and then a $3,000 tattoo, and they're all tigers or lions or whatever it is, but they're all different. And obviously, you know, that's the reason for that. Part of what you're spending your money on, that artist's expertise, they might have better quality equipment, all of that stuff, all of that goes into it. You don't go into, I'm trying to think of a nice restaurant, but I don't know, you don't go into a nice restaurant and then go all eggy and be like, oh well, I can get my dinner in Nando's for cheaper. It's like, of course you can get your dinners in Nando's for cheaper because it's not as good, or it's not, the ingredients aren't as good, or do you know what I mean? Like, you don't expect all shops on the high street to have clothes for the same price. So yeah, that's why you're getting better quality components to it, and that is the reason why it might be a bit more expensive. One last thing that I wanted to touch on, because I do get asked it, is the difference between piece rate and hourly rate. The easiest way that I can explain this is piece rate is a set price. If an artist is quoting on a tattoo and they give you piece rate, that means that when you turn up, bring that amount of money with you, and that is how much the tattoo will cost. It's a flat cost, that's how much it costs. Hourly rate is obviously how much you're spending per hour. So an artist will have a hourly cost, and every hour that you're with them, that's how much it costs. How people do hourly rate is different for everybody, and you'd have to ask the artist. When you're asking an artist what their hourly cost is, because I get asked this a lot, like just literally a message that says, what's your hourly rate? It's kind of a redundant question because you don't know how fast the person is going to work. But for me personally, I work really fast, so generally if it's something smaller than, I don't know, this kind of big, I can tell you exactly how long it's going to take me to do it, and I do everything as piece rate just because it makes the whole system easy. You know exactly how much money to bring. It's nice and easy, there's no surprises. I guess that's the other side of if you're doing something. I know that when I charge hourly rate for a tattoo, it's because maybe it's a big piece or I don't know exactly how long it's going to take, because when you're doing bigger and bigger pieces, you can guarantee with less and less certainty exactly how long it's going to take to do it. It's like people sometimes want me to give an exact price on how much a back piece or a sleeve will be, which is impossible because it just takes as long as it takes. I think it's one of the things that you just have to accept when you're getting tattooed, that tattoos take as long as they take, and if you really want the work of the artist that you've chosen, then that is just how much it's going to cost. We are all self-employed. We don't all work by this one like tattoo artist charter that we all follow. Everybody does stuff differently. Some artists, when you go see them and they're charging hourly, they will be charging you like session time. So as long as you are with them, they are charging you hourly, which might include things like freehanding designs on. Other artists might just charge you for the time that the machine is touching you. Do you know what I mean? So they won't charge you for drawing, stenciling. Everybody's different, and all artists just work with what they feel comfortable with, and what one artist does might not necessarily reflect what the next artist does. So if you're confused, it's always best to ask the person who is tattooing you. Ask the person who's tattooing you, don't ask me because I don't know. Yeah, so ask the person who's tattooing you and they should be able to tell you. So I hope that goes a little way to demystifying like tattoo pricing and how it works. If there's anything that I've missed out, just ask me a question down below. As always, you can find more of my tattoo work on my Instagram. My name there is @holly_astral. You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr and Facebook and everything as well, if you'd like to see more of my stuff. And if you want to book in with me, all of my contact information is below, so you can send me an email. I've just made a video on how to send an email to a tattoo artist, so you can watch that, then you can email me. Whee! Yeah, that's it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.